The conscience that does not exist in the unconscious, or why the image of God often speaks with the voice of our inner judge. We often like to imagine conscience as something authentic, pure, and deep, something that needs no explanation, something that will always point to the truth. Conscience is presented as something sacred, like a voice of the soul that functions without interruption, like an internal moral compass. It supposedly lives within us from birth, independent of upbringing, culture, or experience. But in psychoanalytic thinking, especially in the classical model of Sigmund Freud, this image collapses. Conscience is not innate, it is not deep, and even more so, it does not exist in our unconscious. How does the psyche organize itself? To understand what conscience is, we need to look at how the psyche is structured in psychoanalysis. Freud proposed two models: the levels of consciousness, conscious, preconscious, and unconscious. The structural model, id, ego, and superego, and the second model helps explain the mechanics of moral processes, id, it. This is the deepest and most ancient layer of the psyche. Here lives everything the psyche does not want to recognize: primal desires, instincts, aggression, sexuality, envy, and everything culture, family, and religion taught us to label as unacceptable. It is the world of pure I want, a world of impulses without morality, rules, or logic. It is unfamiliar with ethics, shame, or guilt. It simply exists inside us, in the dark, ego, I. This is our conscious self, the part that perceives the world, acts within it, tries to survive and adapt. The ego attempts to balance between the desires of the id, I want, the reality of the external world, I can, and the demands of the superego, I must. The ego is a builder of compromises, a diplomat, a strategist. It is the ego that becomes aware, reflects, experiences guilt, shame, and responsibility. And it is through the ego that we are capable of forming moral judgments. Superego, above I. This is the moral authority within the psyche. The superego forms during childhood from prohibitions, prescriptions, and norms we receive from parents, caregivers, teachers, culture, and religion. It is the voice that says, "You must not. That's wrong. That's shameful. That's a sin." The superego absorbs